will be talking in this session is basically I'll talk about you can say that the quadratic equation, right? That is very important topic. Quadratic equation. So I believe everybody knows what is the meaning of equation. Right hand side and the left hand side should be equal. That is nothing but of equation, right? Whenever you equate any algebraic expression, okay, to understood. So please send me hi those who have joined the session so that yeah. So only two to 3 days I will be winding up these aptitude season, right? So yeah. So I think inequality problems you guys can solve by yourself now, whatever problem we have discussed, right? Fine. So please do join and okay. So in this session, what I'm supposed to talk here is I'll talk about the quadratic equation, and we can start from the very basic equation that is nothing but you can say the yes. So please send me hi those who have joined it. Yeah. What is the equation? Equation is nothing but a function if you take equal to 0, right? So that becomes the equation, right? So an equation is any expression you can say in the form of fx equal to 0, and the type of equation we are talking about depends upon the expression that is represented by f of x. Okay, so f of x can be linear, f of x can be quadratic, f of x can be cubic. Okay, or you also can have the higher order. Accordingly, the equation can be referred as linear equation, the quadratic equation, and cubic equations, right? So what is the linear equation? I think everybody knows what is the linear equation. Yeah. Hi Devans, namaste. Yes. ठीक है. So linear equation का मतलब आपको पता ही है, right? कि what is the linear equation? That is nothing but if you take 2x plus 4 equal to 0, this is nothing but a linear equation, and it is a function of one variable, right? So here x can be directly found out by this is nothing but -2. Okay, so the degree of this variable x talks about the type of the equation that you have to understand. Now let us talk about what is the quadratic equation, right? So quadratic equation is nothing but what in that form, like it will be nothing but the form ax equal to ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is nothing but a quadratic equation. You have to make sure that this a should not be equal to 0, right? A can be positive, a can be negative, but a should not be equal to 0. Okay, if you want a quadratic equation, right? Understood? So there can be few cases. If you take any equation, right, so you can find out the roots of the equation, and there are some type I mean there are some properties of the roots, right? The root can be real, root can be imaginary. Okay, so there are various cases that those cases we have to see also, okay, under this. So yeah, so you can say here is that uh, there will be three cases, okay, depending upon the roots, nature of the roots, you can say. So there can be three cases. These are the three cases that you have to keep in mind. The case number one is both the roots are real and equal. Both roots are real and unequal, and both roots are imaginary. Okay, remember that as far as the quadratic equation is concerned, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So alone इमेजनरी रूट कैन नॉट एग्जिस्ट. रिमेंबर, अगर एक इमेजनरी रूट आता है तो दूसरा उसके साथ रहेगा हमेशा, कॉन्जुगेट ऑफ ईच अदर, राइट? तो अगर मान लो एक इमेजनरी रूट है पहले से गिवन है तो दूसरा आप फाइंड कर सकते हो, ठीक है? तो हमेशा क्या होगा, दो रियल रूट आएंगे, ठीक है, रूट, और दे कैन बी इक्वल, दे कैन बी अनइक्वल. अगर इमेजनरी रूट एक दिया है तो दूसरा भी होगा. तो मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि एक रियल एक इमेजनरी इन दिस सिचुएशन. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कीप इन माइंड. ओके, in case of quadratic equation, please remember that. So these are the cases that you have to keep in mind, right? So when we can say that when we can say that the roots are real and imaginary, all those things we will discuss, right? Okay, so how to find the nature of the roots, that is very important. Okay? Nature of the roots. Okay, roots is nothing but the solution of the equation. So if you try to find the x here, guys, x is going to be minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, right? So this b square minus 4ac, this b square minus 4ac is going to be called as the discriminant. Okay, it is going to decide whether the roots are real, whether the roots are imaginary. Okay, तो ये d बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट होता है यहाँ पर, राइट? डिस्क्रिमिनेंट, राइट? वी कॉल इट डिस्क्रिमिनेंट. व्हाई? बिकॉज दिस d comes under the square root, and if this d becomes negative, okay, so certainly the roots are going to be imaginary. Okay, so we have to make sure that if roots are not imaginary, it means this d should not be equal to should not be negative, right? Okay, that is very important to keep in mind. So this is called the discriminant of the quadratic equation, right? Okay, so if d is you can say negative, then the equation has no real roots. Okay, so there can be few situations that you have to remember. If d is less than 0, so remember no real roots. What is the meaning of that? No real roots. No real roots means there will be only imaginary roots. ठीक है, क्योंकि मैंने आपको एक कॉन्सेप्ट बताया कि अगर एक इमेजिनरी रूट एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है तो दूसरा भी एग्जिस्ट करेगा. ओके, दिस इज द फैक्ट ऑफ क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन. ठीक है, कुछ लोगों को डाउट रहता है, लेकिन आपको याद रखना है. ठीक है, आपको फाइंड नहीं करना. अगर एक रियल रूट मतलब imaginary root is given, you can find out the another one, right, by taking the conjugate of. Okay, so when d is less than 0, so you imagine that square root of this negative value becomes the complex number. Okay, so d less than 0 is nothing but what? D less than 0 is nothing but no real roots. ठीक है, ये याद रखना. So how do we determine the nature of the roots? With the help of this guy, okay, d, discriminant of the quadratic equation, right? And if you say that d is greater than 0, so there will be a real root. Okay, so d can be greater than 0, right? Or you can say discriminant is positive, then the equation has two distinct roots. Okay, two distinct roots, and they will be real. They will be real always, right? Two distinct roots, they will be real. Understood? Two distinct root you are going to get. Okay, understood? I believe this is fine. And if d is going to be equal to 0, this is also one possibility. Okay, so the roots will be real and equal. Roots are going to be real and equal. So if you know these 3 points, okay, then your life become very simple in case of quadratic equation. ठीक है, चलो. So yeah, so as I said that if d equal to 0, so what are the roots? Roots can be found out with the help of minus b by 2a simply. Okay, you can plug d equal to 0, right? And if d is greater than 0, so x is going to be minus b plus root d by 2a. And as you know that this is nothing but what? Root d. Root d is nothing but a surd. Okay, if d is not a perfect square, right, so you will get minus b plus root d by 2a. So one more pair should exist. ठीक है, ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है. तो माइनस बी माइनस रूट डी बाई 2a. ठीक है, so these are the two roots. Okay, if d is greater than 0. Okay, I think this is clear for all, right? So if you know two roots, you can always write the equation. Okay, and this is the fact that you have to keep in mind, right? So there are some properties of quadratic equation and their roots. If d is perfect square, right, the roots are rational. Remember, in that case, it is not a perfect square, then the roots are irrational, right? तो मान लो ये d अगर perfect square नहीं है, so यहाँ d can be perfect square, ps, and it can be not a perfect square. Okay, तो अगर perfect square होगा तो root will be rational number. Okay, and if the roots are, if the d is not a perfect square, so that is roots are going to be irrational, right? अगर irrational है तो pair exist करेगा हमेशा, right? That we have discussed. So in case of imaginary roots, discriminant should be negative, right? So p plus I q, suppose एक root है quadratic equation का, then the another root must be the conjugate of that. That you have to remember. And if one of the root of the quadratic equation is suppose in this format, suppose ये आपका quadratic equation है ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. It has one root that is nothing but p plus root q. So another root you don't have to determine, right? You can directly say that the another root is gonna be p minus root q. ठीक है, और मान लो एक रूट आपका कुछ ऐसा दिया है p प्लस आयोटा आयोटा q, सो नेक्स्ट रूट शुड बी कॉन्जुगेट ऑफ दिस। ये कब सिचुएशन आएगा? जब d लेस देन 0 है, एंड दिस सिचुएशन कम्स व्हेन d इज ग्रेटर देन 0 एज वेल एज d इज नॉट अ परफेक्ट स्क्वायर। ओके, सो दीज आर दी सिंपल ऑब्जर्वेशन दैट यू हैव टू मेक श्योर। ठीक है, आपको इस तरह के ऑब्जर्वेशन करना है, क्वेश्चन बहुत सिंपल आएंगे, राइट। एंड okay, this is very important. And abc, if abc are integer, so roots are rational number, right? Remember that. Okay, and the root must be integer. Okay, agar a b c are the, you can say, kind of integer value, right? And the quadratic equation in x has more than, अगर मान लो कोई क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन है, ठीक है, अगर उसमें क्या है कि x के रूट्स हैं, तो कितने मैक्सिमम रूट्स पॉसिबल हैं? देयर कैन बी 2 रूट्स ओनली, राइट? तो आपको ये याद रखना है। अब हम अगर साइन ऑफ द क्वाड्रेटिक एक्सप्रेशन की बात करते हैं, साइन ऑफ द क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन, साइन ऑफ द क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन, राइट, क्वाड्रेटिक एक्सप्रेशन, ओके, क्वाड्रेटिक एक्सप्रेशन, राइट? So means that you can say the quadratic expression can be positive, negative, all those things, right? तो यहाँ पर आपके पास तीन situations रहेंगे. You just remember ax square plus bx plus c and d. If d is, you can say, greater than 0, right? If d is greater than 0, or you can say that if d is less than 0, let me take d is less than 0 here, right? If d is less than 0 and a is greater than 0, so what kind of plot you are going to get? When a is greater than 0, so you will always get this kind of a plot, okay? And this plot is not going to touch x-axis. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? This plot is always positive, you can say, right? Your quadratic expression will always be positive, okay, if d is less than 0. Why I'm saying always positive? Because what is the reason behind that? D less than 0 indicates what? The roots are imaginary, so it should not touch anywhere on the x-axis. Okay, finding roots of the equation is nothing but what? Finding the point on the x-axis, right? Wherever that curve cuts the x-axis. ठीक है, तो अगर ये टच नहीं करता है तो आप क्या बोल सकते हो? The function f of x will always be positive in this case. तो यहाँ पर आप बोल सकते हो कि फंक्शन जो है f of x will always be positive. ठीक है, तो मान लो क्वेश्चन ऐसा दिया है आपके एग्जाम में कि ax square plus bx plus c is greater than 0. तो what are the thing that you should know? The first reaction should be like this. ये पहला रिएक्शन है आपका. You have to notice that a should be greater than 0 and d should be less than 0. ठीक है, ये आपका पहला रिएक्शन होना चाहिए. अगर क्वेश्चन में दिया है तो you guys can always do like this. ठीक है, ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट होता है, सबको पता भी है, बट माय मेन जॉब इज टू रिकैप फॉर यू. सो ग्राफिकली आपका आइडिया क्लियर होना चाहिए, राइट? तो ओके, सो नेचुरली द ग्राफ हैज शोन in this figure does not cut the x-axis. That is very important. If the quadratic expression is positive, you can say if the function is positive, it means it should not touch on the x-axis. ठीक है, अगर मान लो a आपका क्या है, सेकंड केस, आप दिस इज द फर्स्ट केस दैट यू कैन गेट, राइट? मतलब ये पहला केस है. सेकंड केस में क्या रहेगा? a आपका पॉजिटिव है बट d इक्वल टू 0 है. So your plot will be always upward parabola kind of thing, but it is going to touch, okay, it is going to be touching the x-axis at one point, that is nothing but what? Minus b by 2a. ये point जो होगा ये minus b by 2a होगा point. Okay, here the roots are equal and okay real. That I hope this makes sense, right? So here the roots are what? Your quadratic expression is non-negative, you can say, right? It can be 0 as well as it can be, so what you will write here is ax square plus bx plus c can be greater than or equal to 0. ठीक है, ये तो यहाँ पर स्लैक इनइक्वालिटी आ जाएगा, स्लैक. ठीक है, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कीप इन माइंड. ओके, एंड सपोज योर d इज पॉजिटिव एंड a इज आल्सो पॉजिटिव. तीसरे में क्या आएगा? a is greater than 0 and d is also greater than 0. So in this case what you can say, your parabola is gonna be like this, and your quadratic expression is going to cut the x-axis at 2 points. ठीक है, तो ये याद रखना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो बिटवीन अल्फा एंड यू कैन से बिटवीन 2 points, between you can say alpha and beta, your function is negative, but here it is positive. Here you can say f of x is greater than 0, here f of x is greater than 0, but here f of x is less than 0. ठीक है, I hope this makes sense, guys. Okay, so the graph is going to cut, okay, at 2 points on the x-axis, right? So okay, this is very, very important to keep in mind. So what you can do here is you can also write in terms of intervals. Okay, now you guys can also get 3 more cases. 3 और क्या क्या केस आएंगे जब आपका a क्या होगा, a निगेटिव हो जाएगा, तो यू नो इन्वर्टेड पैराबोला विल बी देयर, राइट? अभी अपवर्ड पैराबोला है, फिर वो डाउनवर्ड पैराबोला, कॉनकेव अपवर्ड इसको कहते हैं, वो कॉनकेव डाउनवर्ड हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो आपके पास 3 और केसेस आ जाएंगे. फोर्थ में क्या रहेगा, a लेस देन 0, d लेस देन 0. फिफ्थ में आपका आ जाएगा a लेस देन 0, d इक्वल टू 0. एंड सिक्स में क्या आ जाएगा, a लेस देन 0 एंड d ग्रेटर देन 0. So I believe you guys can plot quickly, right? So what does this indicate? It indicates that there will be an imaginary roots, और a less than 0 है तो downward रहेगा, मतलब it should not touch the x-axis, that's it. ये कुछ ऐसा आएगा. ठीक है, इस केस में क्या आने वाला है, it should touch the x-axis like this. इस केस में क्या आ जाएगा, it will be cutting the x-axis. बस खत्म. ठीक है, तो ये आपको याद रखना है. और फंक्शन कब पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव हो रहा है, दैट यू कैन डू. एंड आई हैव टोल्ड यू द वेवी कम मेथड. वेवी कम मेथड में क्या होता है कि आपको हमेशा जो इनइक्वालिटी दी हुई है उससे आपको स्टार्ट करना है, साइन रखना, एंड देन यू हैव टू सी, है ना, जो रूट आप क्रॉस कर रहे हो तो उसका पावर क्या है, उस वेरिएबल का पावर क्या है. अगर वो ऑड है तो आपका साइन चेंज होगा, अगर ऑड नहीं है तो साइन चेंज नहीं होगा. तो वेवी कम मेथड इज वन ऑफ द पावरफुल मेथड दैट यू गाइस कैन ऑलवेज एक्सप्लोर. ठीक है, तो ये सारे एक्सप्रेशन आएंगे. और क्या क्या याद रखना चाहिए आपको, there are few more concepts that you should remember related to quadratic equation, that is nothing but ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. तो यहाँ पर आपको याद रखना है क्या क्या, you have to remember the sum of the roots of the quadratic equation. Sum of roots is going to be minus b by a, and product of roots, okay, is going to be c by a. ये 2 रूट्स हैं, मतलब 2 कॉन्सेप्ट हैं, ये भी याद रखना. लेकिन लोगों को ये पता होता है, ऊपर वाला नहीं पता रहता, ग्राफ एंड ऑल. ठीक है, मतलब लोग इंजीनियरिंग करके भूल जाते हैं. गेट एग्जाम में आपका क्वेश्चन 2 नंबर का आ जाएगा तो आप सिंपली कर सकते हो. ठीक है, फ्री में मार्क्स आ जाएंगे. चलो, तो ये सारी चीजें हैं जो आपको याद रखना है. लेट अस टेक सम क्वेश्चंस हियर. द वेरी फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन दैट आई एम गोना टेक हियर इज अ वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, देवांश बी रेडी टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. तो आपको 2-4 क्वेश्चन भी करवा देते हैं तो आपको समझ आ जाएगा. ये पहला क्वेश्चन है, फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ रूट 6 प्लस रूट 6 प्लस रूट 6 प्लस एंड सो ऑन. व्हाट इज द आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन? So to solve this kind of question, the application of quadratic equation comes into picture, right? अगर आपको quadratic expression पता है तो आप कर सकते हो. ठीक है, तो आप क्या मान सकते हो, what you can assume here is this is nothing but what, this from here, yeah, 1 minute, I think which option is correct? 3. Devansh is getting 3 answer. Okay, let us see which option is correct. Okay, fine. So 3 is the correct answer, right? Yeah. So what we can do here is we can take this as by. Okay, so by equal to what, 6 plus by square equal to 6 plus by square minus by minus 6 equal to 0. And if you solve this, you will get by equal to minus 2 and 3. But this minus 2 is not allowed, I believe. Yeah, if you put by equal to minus 2, right? Okay, which is not allowed. Okay, क्यों नहीं अलाउड है? The given number is positive, you should get the y equal to positive only, right? Okay, so 3 will be the correct answer for this question. Okay, so you see the application of okay, so answer for this question is 3. Let us move to next question. ठीक है, so you don't have to waste much time to solve the question. एक बहुत ही अच्छा क्वेश्चन आया था आपके इसमें, मतलब this kind of question you can expect in your gate exam. Second question. Suppose this is a question, guys. Please try this. Okay. One of the two students, while solving a quadratic equation in x, copied the constant term incorrectly, right? And got the root 3 and 2. The other copied the constant term and coefficient of x square correctly and as minus 6 and 1. So correct roots are what? That is what the question is, right? What is the correct root? कैसे आप solve करोगे इस question? So one of the two students are there, while solving quadratic equation, copied the constant term incorrectly, okay, and got the roots constant term incorrectly, right? That is very important. That c has been copied incorrectly, so they have got the root 3 and 2. Yeah. Now other copied the constant term and the coefficient x square correctly as minus 6 and 1. Okay. So correct roots are what? तो आप यहाँ से वेरीफाई कर सकते हो सम ऑफ रूट्स एंड प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स से, राइट? तो ये तो बहुत सिंपल हो जाएगा, ठीक है। तो सम ऑफ, देखो यहाँ पर बोला है कि ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी इक्वल टू 0, राइट? तो यहाँ पर इसका क्या कोफिशिएंट दिया है? यू कैन से दैट दिस इज नथिंग बट 1, राइट? मतलब ए इक्वल टू 1 दिया है एंड बी एंड सी इज गोइंग टू बी माइनस 6, ठीक है। ठीक है, so these are the coefficient you have got and now you can find the roots, right? So roots का में application लगा देना है कि sum of product of root is nothing but c by a, right? तो c by a का मतलब क्या हो जाएगा? minus 6 by 1, that is nothing but so option D is only correct here, right? Other options can never be correct. Okay, so these kind of questions you guys can solve it, ठीक है? And the product of roots should be minus 6. Okay, product of roots should be minus 6. So option for this question is D. Fine. Let us solve next question. ऐसे क्वेश्चन आपके एग्जाम में आ सकते हैं। Okay, so question is if p and q are the roots of the equation p x square plus px plus q equal to 0, right? So p equal to 1. तो इसको भी आप सॉल्व कर सकते हो बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से, राइट? अगर p and q रूट्स हैं तो आप बता सकते हो क्या आंसर होगा, राइट? ओके, सो यहाँ पर क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज क्या क्या बन सकती हैं आप देख सकते हो, राइट? तो आप बोल सकते हो कि अगर ये रूट्स हैं तो दे शुड सेटिस्फाई द इक्वेशन एज वेल, राइट? तो पी स्क्वायर प्लस यू कैन से पी स्क्वायर प्लस क्यू इक्वल टू 0. Okay, this is the equation that you will get. Okay, and you will get here as q square plus pq plus q equal to 0, right? These equation you will get from here. You can say that 2p square plus q equal to 0, and from here you can say that you can take q common, so it is q plus p plus 1 equal to 0, right? So whenever p and q are the roots, so they should satisfy the equation, right? So you can plug p and q in that equation, you will get this kind of situation, right? Okay, now what you can get here is, okay, so you can find out something here. 2p square, okay, is equal to what? 2p square equal to minus q here, right? Okay, or simply you can leave also, and here you can find q equal to 0, and what is q here? Q is nothing but minus p minus 1. So you can get the q value here, right? And you can plug here now. Okay, so if you take q equal to 0, right? So if you take q equal to 0, right? So what is p, guys, in this equation? If you put, so p is going to be 0. Okay, okay, that is very important to remember. And if you take q equal to minus p minus 1, right? If you plug here, right, so it becomes 2p square and p plus 1. So 2p square minus p minus 1 equal to 0. You can solve this, the value of p you will get, right? So the value of p you are going to get after solving this will be equal to 1 and minus 1 by 2. Okay. Yes, guys. So how many, what is the answer here, guys? See, 1, 0, minus half. 1, 0, minus half. So answer for this question will be what? Okay. I think this is clear. Devans, you got the answer? Simple fact we are using. The roots has to be, yes, B is correct. Okay, so roots has to satisfy the equation, that's it. And थोड़ा सा आप solve कर लोगे तो आंसर आ जाएगा. Okay, fine. So let us move to next question. So you can expect this kind of question in any aptitude exam. ये question. So question number 15.4. If the roots of the equation a times b minus c x square plus b times c minus a x plus c times a minus b equal to 0 are equal, right? अगर roots equal होते हैं, then a b c are in what? So what is the meaning of roots are equal? Roots are equal means determinant should be equal to what? Determinant should be discriminant should be equal to 0. Roots are equal means discriminant should be equal to 0, right? That is the first fact that you should know. B square minus 4ac equal to 0. Now, what is b here, guys? B is nothing but this only, right? So you can say that b square c minus a whole square minus 4 times. You just take this, right? So it is nothing but ab minus ac. Keep multiplying also. And c is nothing but this. So ca minus bc equal to 0. So you can solve this, guys. Okay, so what is this? B square c square plus a square minus 2ac minus 4ab minus plus 4ac. Okay, I think you should multiply first that. Okay, later you can, okay, 4 times you just multiply this and this, it becomes a square bc a b square c, right, minus a square c square and then plus abc square equal to 0. Fine. So if you solve this, simplify this, you will get the answer as, okay, you will get the answer as what? B you will get, okay, if you simplify this, right? So you're going to get B here. Okay, what is B? You can cancel something here, right? You will get some okay, and you can cancel. So yes, so if you further simplify this, okay, so if you get here, so you will get that B equal to 2ab upon a plus, sorry, 2ac upon a plus c, and this is nothing but what? Harmonic progression, right? Harmonic progression. So you can solve this equation and you will get this, right? So there is no other way. You can just do this and you will get the answer. Devans, you got the answer or not? आप देखना कहीं मिस्टेक ना हुआ हो मल्टीप्लिकेशन में, राइट? And yeah, okay, you have to carefully do. Fine. So guys, you can do this by yourself and you might get the answer. एक और क्वेश्चन करते हैं. Yeah. So we have to always note down the timing also from 1st January. Whenever you are solving any question, be it your core subject or any kind of subject, always note down the time, how much time you're taking up, right? So that in the final exam, that problem will not be there, right? And the major issue that we get during exam is the time management. okay, and the recall. Two things are main things, recalling and the time management. So agar recall gets late, become late, then you know time is very okay. The number of roots of the equation you have to find here. Yeah. Here x equal to 1 is not allowed, guys. Okay, x equal to 1 is not allowed. You have to find the number of roots. Okay. X equal to 1 is not allowed means what? Because it is kept in the denominator, so you can't say x equal to 1. Okay. See, this equation might give you x equal to 1, right? But you cannot get, okay, because you can see here, you take a look at this equation, right? So simply you can cancel from both the sides. Okay, x minus 1, बहुत सारे लोग ऐसा ही करेंगे, I'm pretty sure, right? X minus 2 by x minus 1 equal to 1 minus 2 by x minus 1. ये cancel हो गया तो x equal to 1, but which is not allowed, okay? Because x equal to 1 you can't put in this equation. Any value of x should satisfy the equation, but x equal to 1 is not allowed. Don't do this, okay? It looks easy, but बहुत सारी चीजें हैं इसमें, ठीक है? Okay, because it gives x minus 1 equal to 0, okay? Understood? So this is very important. So here in this case, no options are, I mean, no solution is possible. No solution. No solution means you can say zero solution. Okay. No solution is possible. Once you got B option, how? X equal to 1 is not a solution, right? Remember. देखो अगर कोई x की वैल्यू आती है तो you have to put back in the equation and it should satisfy. But this is not okay. As real roots are equal and real and equal, one solution you will get in this case. So which option? Option B according to you, but what I'm thinking is, if x equal to 1 you are taking, what is the root you are getting? X equal to 1 you are getting or what? It is kind of very smart question. ठीक है, फाइन. एक और क्वेश्चन करते हैं. This question. So if the roots of the equation ax square minus bx plus c equal to 0 differ by 2, then which of the following is true? What they are saying is roots are differ by 2. Okay, roots get differ by 2, मतलब अगर एक रूट अल्फा है तो दूसरा रूट क्या होगा? अल्फा प्लस 2 होगा, राइट? ठीक है. Now you have to solve this. This is a very simple question and I think you can take the option and verify it. Your life become very simple, okay? Understood? So you could just verify this. Okay, so what you can do here is, if you take one root as what? Alpha. So second root will be alpha plus 2. Okay, this is the first root, this is the second root. Okay, first and the second. From the first line we can say that, okay, the first root is alpha, the second root is alpha plus 2, because both roots should differ by 2. Understood? The distance between two roots are 2. Now you know that sum of two roots is what? Alpha plus 2 equal to b. Okay, that is minus b by a, so you will get this. So from here you can say 2 alpha plus 2 alpha is equal to b minus 2. Okay, I think this is clear. Okay, and product of roots you can say is alpha into alpha plus 2 equal to c, right? These are the two situations that you might get. So from here you can find alpha. Alpha is nothing but b by 2 by 2. Okay, one of the roots. And okay, I think this is clear. And you can say that this is nothing but alpha square plus 2 alpha equal to c. Now what you can do, in place of alpha you can put this, right? Because you have to find at the end of the day रिलेशन बिटवीन बी एंड सी, सो आप यहाँ रख सकते हो एंड यू विल गेट द आंसर। ठीक है, तो वी कैन प्लग हियर अल्फा स्क्वायर प्लस 2 अल्फा इक्वल टू सी, तो अल्फा इज b minus 2, right? b minus 2 whole square plus, you know, 4 plus b minus 2 equal to c, right? Now you can solve this. What is this? B square minus 4b by 4 plus b minus 2 equal to c, right? तो इसको आप सॉल्व करोगे तो क्या आंसर आ रहा है गाइस? जस्ट टेल मी। If you solve this, you're going to get b square plus 4 minus 4b plus 4b minus 8 equal to c. 4b gone. B square 4, you know, this is nothing but minus 4 equal to c. So b square is going to be c plus 4. Okay, so which option is correct? I think we have done somewhere kind of mistake. If we have done, so we can check it, right? हाँ, यहाँ पर 4 से मल्टीप्लाई भी करवाना पड़ेगा ना, 4c विल बी 4, v square equal to 4 common c plus 1. Right? Yeah, option B is correct. Okay, so you have to be little careful that cross multiplication has to be done. So it's a very simple question, but थोड़ा सा to get 2 mark, you know, we can spend some minute, right? मार्क्स तो चाहिए ना हम लोगों को, बाकी तो कुछ नहीं है। और एक क्वेश्चन गेट में भी इस तरह का आया है, what was we are solving this kind of question you have got in the gate also. Sorry, this kind of question you might have got in the gate. So it's a very simple question. What is the condition for one root? So what we can do by assuming value, answer will come in 4 lines. Yeah, we can assume value. That is also one of the key points. मतलब वो भी आपको याद रखना है, ये एक मतलब unknowns हैं, you just consider some values and you can justify that. That is also one of the good technique. ठीक है? In the exam you can do that, right? So that is very good technique देवांश। ये शॉर्ट नोट में नोट होनी चाहिए। ये तो मतलब जैसे मैं क्या कर रहा था कि I was solving 3 cross 3 matrix and they were asking you to calculate the eigenvalues of the matrix, right? और ऑप्शन में आइगन वैल्यू गिवन है, तो फिर अगर आप कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन फॉर्म करके करते हो तो लाइफ इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, राइट? तो आपको नोट रहना चाहिए कि जब भी ऐसा सिचुएशन आएगा वी कैन यूज दिस सम एंड प्रोडक्ट रूल, सम ऑफ द आइगन वैल्यूज, तो इन दैट मैनर अब एग्जाम के दौरान क्लिक हो जाए तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। What is the condition for one root of the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 to be twice the other? तो एक रूट अगर अल्फा है तो दूसरा रूट 2 टाइम्स ऑफ अल्फा होगा, मतलब ये दिया हुआ है क्वेश्चन में। ठीक है, इफ वन रूट इज अल्फा यू कैन से, तो दूसरा रूट क्या है, 2 अल्फा है, तो सम ऑफ रूट्स कितना हो जाएगा, 3 अल्फा। 3 अल्फा इज नथिंग बट माइनस बी बाई ए, एंड हियर यू हैव टू फाइंड द रिलेशन विथ बी ए सी, राइट? ठीक है, और प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द रूट्स कितना हो जाएगा इस प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द रूट्स इज नथिंग बट 2 अल्फा, सॉरी आई शुड नॉट राइट लाइक दिस, 2 alpha square is going to be c by a. So from here you can find alpha, right? Minus b by 3a, and you can plug here. So 2 times of b square by 9a square equal to c by a. So from here you can find out 2b square equal to 9ac. Option B is correct. ठीक है? So sometimes we can take the value, sometimes we can also solve it according to the question. ठीक है, तो ये डन है, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड ठीक है। नाउ so these kind of question you can expect in your gate exam from the quadratic equation. कल के सेशन में हम लोग ज्योमेट्री पूरा कर लेंगे, ठीक है, बस The product of the roots of the equation. हाँ, you can do that. You can do that. Just I want to just solve directly. आप कर सकते हो, मैं करूंगा in the exam. If I'm gonna sit in the exam, so I will take that. अगर मान लो ज़्यादा लेंदी हो रहा है, ठीक है, तो it depends upon you what method you like और कैसे आप करते हो, ठीक है. जैसे ये क्वेश्चन है, the product of the roots of the equation mx square plus bx, 6x is -1. तो m वैल्यू, प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द रूट्स दिया हुआ है, प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द रूट्स क्या होता है, दैट इज नथिंग बट 2m minus 1 by m is going to be -1, ठीक है. तो 2m minus 1 equal to -m, तो 3m equal to 1, m equal to 1 by 3. Done. So why they are giving this kind of questions? So that you should make mistake. निगेटिव साइन का मिस्टेक होता है गेट एग्जाम में सबके साथ, ठीक है, तो हमें मिस्टेक नहीं करना है. वी हैव टू बी वेरी पॉजिटिव अबाउट लाइफ, ठीक है. एक क्वेश्चन मैं देता हूं, आप इस क्वेश्चन को ऐसे ही कर सकते हो, राइट. देखो, आफ्टर दैट वी विल टॉक अबाउट लॉग. So you see, if 13x plus 17 by equal to 643, where x and y are the natural numbers, what is the value of 2 times the product of x into y? What is the value of 2 times the product of 2 times x y की वैल्यू निकालना है. इट्स अ सिंपल सिचुएशन, 2xy निकालना था. So here you have to find x and y, okay, and बस प्रोडक्ट लेके 2 टाइम्स कर दो, आंसर आ जाएगा, राइट. Which option is correct in this question? It's a very good question, you can say. And now we need to choose some value of x and y, okay. So can you think about it, what values are x and y, okay, because one equation is given, 2 variables are there, and these x and y are the natural numbers, so make sure that take positive values only, don't take 0 also, ठीक है. Okay, so this solution of the solution of this question depends on what you have to visualize, that what is the multiple of 13 and 17, right, जो satisfy करेगा इस equation को, okay. 13x and 17y, okay, so that you have to think about it, ठीक है. Option B you are telling, right? No. इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर क्या होगा, आपको मल्टीपल फाइंड करना है, राइट, कि कितना क्या मल्टीपल होगा, मतलब यू हैव टू जस्ट डिवाइड दिस, you can say 643 into 2 parts. So if you divide this 642 into 2 parts, right, that is very important to keep in mind, okay. So multiple of 13 and 17 gives what, you have to find the solution here, that is nothing but 286 plus, you can write this as 286 plus 857, and that should be equal to 643. Okay. Now what is this, 13 into 22, and this will be 17 into 21, right. So here you have got 22 into 21, so answer will be 2 into 22 into 21, right. So this is the answer for this question, okay. So slight thought process is required. आपको यहाँ पर 13 का मल्टीपल निकालना है, that gives you 286 and 357, ठीक है. तो ये बन जाएगा क्वेश्चन, नॉट अ डिफिकल्ट वन. देवांश, ये समझ आया लॉजिक ना? You will get here as the answer as 924. Yeah. ठीक है. This is the end of the story, guys. In case of quadratic equation, आप बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर सकते हो. I'll share the PDF. I mean for the problem solving if you want, right? अब नेक्स्ट चैप्टर जो है लॉग है, तो आ गया आपका आंसर ना. Trinomial properties, yeah. 9 to 4, how much second you have, like how कितना टाइम लगा इसमें सॉल्व करने में? जिसका नंबर सिस्टम अच्छा है वो ही कैन डू वेरी क्विकली, राइट? लेकिन गेट में थोड़ा सा डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, व्हाट आई हैव रियलाइज्ड, मतलब आप कर पाओगे, 100% कर पाओगे। थोड़ा सा ये क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा थॉट प्रोसेस दे नीड। एनीवे, so next topic is guys log in the algebra, and the topic is very very important, and log is very simple also. Okay, now the situation is how do we define log, that you have to remember. So if you have got any exponential, suppose if you take any number and take the power of x is equal to m, so you can always write this as x equal to log of m base a, right? तो हम इसको बोलते हैं एक्सपोनेंशियल फॉर्म, exponential form, and we call it logarithm log form. Okay, here the base is a, fine, 20 second is good. Okay, so you have to always remember that there is a condition also. If this a is there now, so a must be always positive, right? A can never be negative. The base should never be negative in case of log. The base, this base is always positive, you have to keep in mind, and m should also be greater than 0. Okay, this m should also be greater than 0. So log of a negative number is not defined. That is very important. Log of a negative number is not defined. Okay, so a raised to power x equal to m, that is x equal to log m base a, right? So x equal to log m base a is called the logarithmic form, and a to the power x equal to m is nothing but exponential form of the equation, which connects a, x and m. Okay, so there are some properties of log that you have to remember. Few properties जो बेसिक ट्रूथ है उनको आप हमेशा याद रखा करो। तो बेसिक ट्रूथ क्या क्या है कि अगर log of any base should be equal to 0 always. These are the basic truth, आपको हमेशा एक्सेप्ट करना है कि कोई भी log, अगर आप 1 लेते हो, log of 1 base, any base you say, that base should be positive only, so answer will be 0. ठीक है, this is the first fact that you have to remember. Okay, and here okay, that is okay, fact is what, log 1 to any base is 0. Okay, and you can also prove it. Yeah, so here if you say that, if you take this a that side, so a raised to power 0 equal to 1, ये भी fact पता है, ठीक है? Okay, and अगर मान लो log of any number, you can say a, and same base लेते हो तो it will be always 1. These are the facts that you have to remember. Okay, if you take a raised to power 1, so a, ठीक है? And there are some properties guys, you can say some laws of logarithms. Okay, they are called as product and quotient rules, right? तो अगर मान लो आपको log of m into n निकालना होता है, log of m you can say plus log of n. log m by n क्या होता है? log of m minus log of n, any base you see. Whenever I'm not writing any sort of base here, so you have to always consider the base 10, but natural log has the base e. ठीक है, तो ये भी आपको थोड़ा सा याद होना चाहिए. These are called the first law and the second law, right? So the log of product is nothing but the sum of logs, and second law says that the log of quotient is equal to difference of the logs. Okay? And these theorems are very important because the problem of multiplication here gets converted into the problem of addition, you can say. And the second law, second theorem, you can say, gets the problem of division gets converted into problem of subtraction, right? So it is very easy to perform multiplication, I mean addition and subtraction, right? और एक और लॉ होता है that is called third law. So अगर मान लो कुछ ऐसा दिया है, you can always write as n log m. Okay, so n log m, n can come in front of that. ठीक है? So sometimes you have to remember that, suppose a raised to power x is given. Okay, so you can always write this as e raised to power natural log a raised to power x. ठीक है, तो इसको आप ऐसा लिख सकते हो, e raised to power x log base a. You see journey from there to there. समटाइम्स इन द एग्जाम दे माइट आस्क व्हाट इज द डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ a raised power x, तो आपको ये याद रखना है कि इंटीग्रेशन भी पूछ सकता है। तो आप ऐसा लिख सकते हो नेचुरल लॉग मीन्स द बेस शुड बी e। ओके, so this is important and हाँ, in entire log there is a one important concept that is called base change rule, जो कहीं नहीं पढ़ाया जाता। कुछ लोगों को पता होता है who are from very good schools, right, और कुछ लोगों को नहीं पता रहता। तो बेस चेंज रूल सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है बस पूरे लॉग में, बेस चेंज रूल। बाकी आपको आई थिंक कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मैंटीसा एज वेल एज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द लॉग पता होगा, राइट। ओके, सो क्योंकि लॉगरिथम ऑफ द नंबर कंसिस्ट ऑफ टू पार्ट ऑलवेज, राइट। अगर कोई भी नंबर है उसका उसमें टू पार्ट्स होते हैं, one is called the integral part and the decimal part, right? So integral part is known as characteristic of the log and the decimal part is known as mantissa of the log. Okay, that you have to remember, ठीक है। बस मैं आपको यहाँ पर स्क्रीन कट आई कैन पुट हियर माय स्लाइड सो दैट यू गाइस कैन अंडरस्टैंड। कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं, मैं अब ज़्यादा डिस्कस नहीं करना चाहता इससे रिलेटेड, बट यू गाइस कैन जस्ट नो दिस। क्लास 8-9 का कॉन्सेप्ट है, ठीक है। Log of the you can say that log of the number consists of what? Two parts, the integral part and the decimal part. The integral part is known as characteristic and the decimal part is known as mantissa, ठीक है। and in log अगर मान लो देखो log 2357, okay, this is very important to remember. So you see this 3 is nothing but the integral part and the decimal part is nothing but 0.5128. Okay, and it should be remembered that the mantissa is always positive. ये भी आपको हमेशा याद रखना है, ठीक है। Fine. Let us come to base change rule. Base change rule is very important. Okay, ठीक है। So whatever theorems we have studied in log, right? Okay, they are all related to what? The operation on log. Okay, with the same base you can say. Okay, base मतलब base can be 10, base can be 2 also. In case of binary situation we always take base 2, ठीक है। लेकिन you will find in the question many situation you will find that you have to change the base, okay, like you have to deal with the different bases also. So what is the base change rule in that situation, ठीक है। तो मान लो आपके पास log b base a दिया है, log b base a दिया है, you can always write this as with new base you can say c, log b base c upon log a base c। ये एक पहला सिचुएशन है, ठीक है। तो इफ log b base a दिया है, you can convert into new log base, okay, so log b base c log a base c, ठीक है। ये बहुत अच्छा है। This is the first base rule that you have to remember. It is one of the very important you can say rule for solving logarithm, ठीक है। मान लो आपके पास सेकंड है log a base b, if you switch a and b, right, so you can now convert into new log, right। so इसमें क्या हो जाएगा, यहाँ पर हो जाएगा log a base c upon log, okay, log you can also write this as log c base b, ठीक है। this is also one of the important fact that you keep in mind. So log base c of a then log c base b, ठीक है। जिस नया इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो ना न्यू लॉग बेस, ओके, दैट इज c, तो आप ऐसा भी लिख सकते हो। तो ये एक सेकंड प्रॉपर्टी है जो फर्स्ट का ही यू कैन से वी हैव गॉट नाउ। अगर मान लो ऐसा दिया है तीसरा log b बेस a को आप ऐसा भी लिख सकते हो, log just interchange this, if you interchange base and the number it becomes log a base b, take the reciprocal, okay, that is very important to keep in mind. and log c to the base a raised to power b अगर आप फाइंड करते हो log c to the base, ये चौथा है, to the base a raised to power b you are looking for, you can write this as log a raised to power b, right, sorry, a raised to power c upon you can say b, ठीक है। See, these four properties that you have to remember related to base change rule. Rest is easy. और आपको हमेशा याद रखना है कि log जैसे base 2 है and you have to find log of 8, log 8 base 2, ठीक है, ऐसे कुछ याद रहना चाहिए, log a 8 base 2, तो इसका आंसर कितना आएगा, log you can write this as 2 to the power 3 base 2 which is nothing but 3. ये आपको टेक्निकल सब्जेक्ट्स में काम आएंगे इफ यू नो दिस प्रॉपर्टी, ठीक है. ओके फाइन, लेट अस टेक सम क्वेश्चन बेस्ड ऑन लॉग and then we'll wind up the session. ठीक है, पहला क्वेश्चन guys, you see this is given here, right? This is given, find the value of x in 3 to the power mod of 3x minus 4 9 2x minus 2. What is the value of x? So we might think this is a direct problem, but ऐसा नहीं है, you have to take the mod log. तो log अगर दोनों साइड आप लेते हो तो लाइफ बिकम वेरी सिंपल, लेकिन आप थोड़ा एडजस्ट कर सकते हो, राइट? एंड यू कैन राइट दिस log 9 as like 9 as 3 to the power 2. ओके, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर आप कुछ ऐसा लिख सकते हो, इफ यू टेक log बोथ साइड, तो 3x minus 4 log 3 equal to, and you can write this as 9 as 3 to the power 2 to the power 2x minus 2, 3 to the power 4x minus 4. We have talked about this, right? So this is nothing but 4x minus 4 log 3 only. Log 3 cancel. We have got the equation 4x minus 4. Now you will be having two situations, ठीक है. एक सिचुएशन क्या होगी, 3x minus 4 will be positive. एक सिचुएशन होगी this can be negative also, right? So you can find the x value and check out, ठीक है. If you take positive only, so that is not possible, you will find. अगर आप पॉजिटिव लेते हो तो 3x minus 4 equal to 4x minus 4, 3 equal to 4 is not possible, okay. So better what you have to take, guys, this is the first case that you have to choose. The second case that you have to choose is, let me write here, case 2. इसको आप नेगेटिव लोगे तो -3x, you can say that plus 4 equal to 4x minus 4. You better take this guy this side, so 7x equal to 8, so x equal to 8 by 7. ठीक है, तो देखो लॉग का कितना पावरफुल मेथड है, आप सॉल्व कर सकते हो सिंपली अगर आपका कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर है, अदरवाइज पीपल माइट टेक 2 दिन, ठीक है. एक क्वेश्चन और देते हैं, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आप सॉल्व कर लो बस लॉग बेस में. सॉल्व फॉर एक्स, यहाँ पर तो आप इसको कैसे लिख सकते हो, यू कैन सिंपली राइट दिस एज लॉग x by root x base 10. You can, okay, this can be written as 2 log x, okay. So here you see, guys, the base is different here, so you can't equate the base, right? I mean you can't equate this log directly, ठीक है. आपको सेम बेस बनाना पड़ेगा, you need same base, that is nothing but what log x should be written as. You can, if you interchange this, I believe that will become inverse of that, yeah? Okay, if you interchange 10 and x, so 1 by log x base 10, that becomes a very simple situation, ठीक है. So I believe this is fine for all, okay. So you can just write this as log, and you can also cancel this, okay, so it becomes root x base 10. It is nothing but 2 into 1 by log x base 10. तो आप इसको क्या लिख सकते हो, 1 by 2 log x base 10 equal to 2 log if you take cross multiplication, so log x base 10 whole square equal to 4. So log x is 10 equal to 2. So x equal to what? 10 to the power 2, which is 100. Okay. So I believe this is fine. Answer will be 100. Clear concept? देवांश आपका ये कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो गया होगा. ठीक है. Okay. Next is we can take next. Okay. Next question. It depends upon how fast we do, that's it. बाकी सबको आता है ये चीज, बट ठीक है. ये क्वेश्चन देखना 7x to the 7. Okay, so we have to do, you know, like in all the subject we must be like that. Okay, not only in aptitude or maths, we must be good at all the subject like this. Any question we see, solve it फटाफट, right? So 1 तारीख से आप PYQ, you just solve PYQ only, that's it. Your life is all about PYQ. और PYQ जितना कंप्यूटर के सामने रख के सॉल्व करेंगे उतना ही बेनिफिट है. ठीक है, तो यहाँ से आप कुछ सोच सकते हो कि 7x अगर आप कॉमन लेते हो, if you take 7 to the power x common here, I mean you can take 7x, मतलब you can take 7x minus 1 common, right? So it becomes what, guys? 7 square minus 1 equal to 48. Here you can take 7x minus 1 common. So I believe now it is very simple. 7x minus 1 equal to 1. ठीक है. So here x minus 1 equal to 0, so x equal to 1 only. खत्म. ठीक है. So this is very simple. How I have written 7 to the power 0 you can write, and x minus 1 equal to 0, x equal to 1. This is a very simple question. Okay, fine. एक question और करेंगे, then we'll wind up the session. This question you see, guys, what is given here? 1 by log, find the value of the expression we have to find. 2 by log minus 3 by log 827. तो आप यहाँ नोटिस करोगे, what you have to notice कि अगर आप इसको देखो, it is 2 to the power 2, right? It is 2 to the power 3. So what we can do here is we can just switch it, right? अगर आप इसको switch कर दो, मतलब what you can write this as, you can say that this is nothing but log 3 base 2 into log 9 base 4, right? You can just do like this, and then minus 3 times log 27 base 8. Yeah, you can switch it, right? Base change rule हम लगा रहे हैं. And then what you can do here is you can just think about it. Okay, तो आपको नए बेस में चेंज करना पड़ेगा. मतलब you want log 2 only, because if all guys are log 2, then you can use product and you know, quotient 1, right? So अगर आप सेम यूज करो तो बहुत ही अच्छा है, right? It becomes what? इसको आप एक सेकंड, I think. So we are going to solve this here. Log 3 base 2, इसको as it is रखो, into log 9 base 2 log 4 base 2 minus 3 log 27 base 2 upon log 8 base 2 log base 2 3 plus, इसको हम लिख सकते हैं log 9 base 2 only, and we can write this as log 27 base 2. Okay, because you know that log 8 base 2 is 3, कैंसिल हो जाएगा. log 4 base 2 कैंसिल हो जाएगा. मैजिक. ठीक है, ये कितना आ जाता है? log 27 बेस 2 माइनस log 27 0। तो आई थिंक आंसर 0 आएगा। समझ आया क्या ये वाला? देखो 2-3 लाइन में आ गया। अगर आपको बेस चेंज रूल नहीं पता है तो यू कांट सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन, फॉरगेट दैट। ये कैट लेवल का क्वेश्चन है, आप समझ सकते हो, गेट में आ जाता है। फाइन गाइज, इट वाज अमेजिंग सेशन आई बिलीव। एंड अब एक टॉपिक आपको बताना है मुझे कल, पूरा ज्योमेट्री पढ़ा दूंगा। एक लॉजिक मुझे बताना है अपना वाला, ज्योमेट्री के सारे क्वेश्चन आप कर ले जाओगे, ठीक है? ज्योमेट्री कल होगा। देन आई हैव टू डिस्कस यू नो स्पेशल एप्टीट्यूड। ठीक। और फिर हमें बात करना है, ये बहुत सिंपल है स्पेशल एप्टीट्यूड, ज्योमेट्री में मेन इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड वी हैव टू डिस्कस वेन डायग्राम आल्सो, वेन डायग्राम बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस। एंड वी विल डिस्कस हियर you can see the syllogism and rest is your job guys। मतलब कैसा, अगर कोई रीजनिंग का क्वेश्चन आता है तो आपको बस थोड़ा सा डेवलप करना है, फिर रीड करके सॉल्व करना है, तो आप पीवाईक्यू पूरे लगाओ बस, ठीक है? गेट में बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड रीजनिंग नहीं आती, एक क्वेश्चन दे सकता है लॉजिकल रीजनिंग से, बाकी ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ठीक है? डायरेक्शन एंड ऑल आप अपने से करना है, राइट? बहुत सारे कॉन्सेप्ट हैं जो आप अपने से भी सोचो। बाकी I'm going to touch almost more than 20 chapters, in aptitude, ठीक है? तो ठीक है देवांश, we'll catch up tomorrow, right? Thank you so much for attending the session and I believe you might have got some new insight। पता सबको रहता है लेकिन कुछ नए insight मिल जाते हैं in each session, right? चलो।